Have you ever thought of games that are so addictive you completely lose track of time? Today, I'm counting down some of the most grindy games that will keep you glued to your screen. If you're into games that offer endless progression and rewards, you won't want to miss this. Watch until the end to find out which games will make hours feel like minutes.
Oh, it's a drill and an elevator. I get it now.
First up, we have Warframe. This game is a perfect grind for anyone who loves setting their own pace and choosing their own priorities. You don't have to rush. Instead, you can leisurely enjoy the journey and pick what to focus on. Sure, there are certain things you need to complete in a specific order, like quests or gear tied to your mastery rank, but that's part of the fun. Warframe excels at making sure you're always progressing in multiple areas. As you work on one goal, you often find yourself inadvertently collecting items or mods that will be useful for another. For instance, you might be gathering mods for one specific build, and before you know it, you already have most of what you need for the next build in mind. The community in Warframe is also top-notch. You can easily jump into the chat and ask for help, and there's usually some experienced player who's more than willing to assist you. Having a clan, even if it's just with real-life friends, can make a big difference too, providing a steady source of help and guidance. One of the coolest features in Warframe is the trading system. You can trade various items like prime parts, augments, and syndicate weapons to earn platinum, the in-game currency. This means you don't have to spend real money if you don't want to. You can simply invest more time grinding in the game. If you do decide to spend some real cash, waiting for a daily reward discount can be a smart move. With enough platinum, you can trade for almost anything you need, making the grind much more manageable. Instead of spending hours trying to get that rare mod with a low drop rate, you can just buy it from another player. Warframe's flexible approach to grinding, combined with its supportive community and robust trading system, makes it an incredibly engaging game that you can easily sink countless hours into.
I see the Lotus has tried to wake you. Pity she's too late.
Next on the list, we have Noita. I jumped into this game the moment it hit early access back in 2019, and let me tell you, it's one of the most grindy experiences out there. Noita isn't exactly friendly to newcomers. There's no hand-holding, no tutorial to ease you in. You're tossed straight into the deep end, and believe me, you will die a lot. You'll find yourself wondering, how am I supposed to do this? Or this is impossible. But that's part of the charm. It takes many, many hours to snag even a basic win. As you gradually learn the ropes though, you'll discover that you can manipulate the game just as much as it challenges you. Your consistency will improve as you gain confidence in crafting spells and understanding enemy behaviors. There's a huge amount of gameplay packed into Noita, with countless hours of content and an array of things to explore and unlock, many with absurdly difficult requirements. Despite the tough learning curve, it's incredibly rewarding. The depth and progression in Noita are like diving into an endless ocean. The game boasts weird cryptic lore, a massive map, and secrets so complex they feel nearly impenetrable at first. You'll come across countless tricks and techniques to master, and the wand building system is so intricate it feels like you could earn a degree just figuring it out. But once you get past that initial difficulty, you'll find Noita to be one of the most satisfying and complex games you've ever played. It's the kind of game that hooks you in with its challenge and keeps you coming back with its endless possibilities. Up next is Monster Hunter World. This game revolves around 4 key elements: preparation, hunt, kill, and repeat. Well, that's pretty much the essence of all Monster Hunter games. You can definitely beat the base game and the Iceborne DLC storylines, which follow the classic plots like, we need to know why these creatures are here, or something like that. The grind, however, is entirely optional and up to you. You could complete the main story in about 60 hours or so, but most players find themselves drawn to farming specific monsters for parts to craft cool armor and weapons. The beauty of Monster Hunter World lies in its dynamic combat. Even when you're hunting the same monster repeatedly, no two hunts are ever exactly the same. The variety in the combat system, with each weapon acting almost like its own class, adds a layer of complexity and depth that makes each battle feel fresh. The co-op support is another fantastic feature. You can team up with friends or other players to take down challenging monsters, which makes the experience even more enjoyable. The gameplay loop in Monster Hunter World is incredibly satisfying. The progression system is seamless and the combat is fluid. Every weapon has its own unique playstyle, which means there's always something new to master. For me, this game stands out in terms of its engaging mechanics and rewarding progression. It's a grind, but it's a grind you'll love diving into, especially if you're into dynamic combat and cooperative gameplay. Monster Hunter World is definitely one of the most addictive grindy games you'll lose track of time playing. Next up is Helldivers 2. This game is a blast. It's challenging and fun, but without that toxic multiplayer vibe since it's all about PvE co-op. The main unlocks require some dedication, but the overarching campaigns that span across the galaxy are what keep you hooked. Plus, the game receives constant updates, introducing new content regularly. There's plenty of variety with different enemy factions, loadout options, and mission types. If you're looking for an action-packed experience, Helldivers 2 is a fantastic choice to dive into. The game primarily features third-person shooting, but you can switch to first-person for more accurate aiming. While Helldivers 2 isn't the hardest game out there if you're optimizing your strategies, it can still be quite tough. It's a bit buggy at times, but regular updates have significantly improved the experience. The live service support is excellent, making it one of the best in its class. Helldivers 2 also offers great value because the premium currency can be earned in a reasonable amount of time, unlike many other games with similar systems. This balance makes the game both rewarding and fair for players who invest their time. So, if you're into action games and enjoy cooperative play, Helldivers 2 is definitely worth sinking your time into.
Hero. Become a legend. Become a Helldiver.
Next up is Enshrouded. This game just entered early access earlier this year, so you might not have heard of it yet. Compared to other grindy games, Enshrouded feels a bit more relaxed. The game world is already quite expansive, packed with unique locations, quests, lore, and loot. The crafting grind feels fair, although you'll still find yourself grinding quite a bit. If you prefer playing solo, there's a bit of a downside, as it seems that the developers have nerfed the healing, making solo play a bit more challenging. Also, there's no auto loot, so get ready for a lot of clicking to pick up every single item dropped on the ground. Despite these minor issues, the game has some fantastic features. The building mechanic is incredibly detailed, allowing for a lot of creativity. You can use a variety of materials and add decorations and furniture to your structures. Combat is straightforward, but the different classes keep things interesting. Among them, I think the Archer class stands out due to its heavy arrow consumption, especially in the endgame. This makes the grind a bit more intense for archers, but hopefully the developers will address this imbalance in future updates. Overall, Enshrouded offers a solid gaming experience. The intricate building system provide plenty of content to explore and enjoy. If you're looking for a new game to sink your time into, Enshrouded is definitely worth checking out. Next on the list, we have Elite Dangerous. The grind in this game is highly dependent on your goals and playstyle. If you're the type of player who loves having fully upgraded setups, Elite Dangerous will keep you busy with the Engineer unlock process, faction ship unlocks, and earning money. While these aren't necessary to enjoy the game, some players find optimal setups essential for their enjoyment. For completionists, there's a significant grind involved in unlocking and upgrading an entire fleet of ships. This can be a long journey, filled with various challenges and tasks. For more casual players who prefer to log in, do what they want, and log off, the grind is less intense. However, staying motivated can be a challenge. Without clear, measurable goals, you might find yourself wandering aimlessly and potentially losing interest. The game features several plateaus where new gameplay elements and opportunities open up, such as moving from small to medium ships, and then to large ships. Reaching these milestones requires effort, but they bring a sense of accomplishment and open new avenues for gameplay and income. Many players might quit before reaching the first plateau of acquiring medium ships due to the initial grind. But for those who push through, the game becomes increasingly rewarding. Each new ship class unlocks different possibilities and enhances the overall experience. So, whether you're a grinder aiming for the best gear or a casual player enjoying the vast universe, Elite Dangerous offers a varied and engaging grind. Stick with it, reach those milestones, and you'll find a rich and expansive game waiting for you. Up next is Grim Dawn. If you define grinding as farming mobs without progressing through quests, you can complete Grim Dawn with minimal grinding. However, aiming for the level cap might require some extra effort. Typically, you'll finish the final difficulty around level 80 to 90, depending on how much content you skipped. After completing the main campaign, there's still plenty to do. The game offers repeatable challenge dungeons, which get seriously tough at the endgame, powerful bosses, and reputation-related repeatable hunt missions that have you exploring the map. Grim Dawn also offers alternative endgame playstyles outside the campaign, which is the Crucible and Shattered Realm. These modes are more grindy and arcade-like compared to the base game, but provide a refreshing change of pace. You could theoretically level your character from 1 to 100 in Crucible, but it's probably more grind-intensive than the main game. One of Grim Dawn's standout features is its class differentiation, which is better than any other ARPG I've played, including popular titles like Diablo, Path of Exile, and Last Epoch. In Grim Dawn, your playstyle is determined by a combination of loot, skills, and devotion points. You can even play more than 20 completely different characters, some with identical classes, but vastly different playstyles due to variations in skill selection and gearing. Grim Dawn doesn't require multiplayer to be enjoyable. The crafting system is designed so that you usually have the recipes you need. There are various ways to mitigate RNG when farming for late-game gear, and the item augmentation system is incredibly robust. This system allows you to make any item fit into your build by compensating for any lacking stats or resistances, which is crucial for late-game survival. Next up, we have Deep Rock Galactic. This game stands out among grindy games because it's fun right from the start. You don't need all the unlocks to enjoy yourself, and unlocking new weapons and modules to suit your playstyle is pretty quick. The grind in Deep Rock Galactic mainly involves unlocking the full potential of the 4 classes by getting each to level 25 and acquiring a set of perks applicable across all dwarves. Beyond that, there are time-gated overclocks for various weapons, and then it's all about cosmetics, which are entirely optional. Even the season rewards, which are cosmetic, eventually end up in the freely available pool, so there's no risk of missing out. Promoting a dwarf after reaching level 25 doesn't take too long, especially when playing with random players at hazard 3 to 5. It generally takes about 4 to 6 hours per class to get them to the first promotion, and a similar amount of time for each subsequent promotion. Overclocks take longer to acquire due to the weekly limit of around 10 cores, translating to about 6 to 7 overclocks per week, depending on RNG. There are approximately 148 overclocks across the 4 classes, with about 6 overclocks per weapon. You can have a great time playing Deep Rock Galactic right from the beginning, even on the highest difficulty, without any overclocks. The best approach is to focus on having fun, occasionally running suggested missions to progress with overclocks or season rewards. Everything else will naturally progress as you play. If you focus too much on the grind, you might find yourself needing credits or crafting materials, which can become a blockade. However, simply playing the game will soon provide more than enough resources to afford these as they unlock. Next on the list, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Among all the games in the Assassin's Creed series, Odyssey stands out as one of the most grindy. Many players have expressed frustration over the grind, but it largely depends on your playstyle and how much you want to advance your character. If you focus solely on the main storyline and skip side quests, you'll likely find yourself under-leveled at several points, making progression difficult without some grinding. This is why Odyssey earns its place on our list. However, it's important to note that the game often inflates the recommended levels for main quests. If you take the time to explore optional zones and complete their quest lines, you'll find plenty of opportunities to gain XP. With all the DLC and Lost Tales of Greece, there's an abundance of content that rewards you with experience points. For those aiming to 100% the game and max out their character, be prepared for a long haul. Even after completing everything, you might not reach the maximum level without starting a new game plus. I know the gameplay can sometimes feel repetitive, but the satisfaction of achieving your desired build and seeing the story's conclusion is well worth the effort. Despite the grind, the journey through Odyssey is enriched with a well-crafted narrative, memorable characters, and stunning landscapes. I recommend that you embrace the grind, explore the world, and immerse yourself in one of the most expansive entries in the Assassin's Creed series. Up next, we have Payday 2. This game is intentionally designed to be grindy due to its unique leveling system. The higher your level, the more XP you need to progress, and this increase isn't linear, but exponential. For example, reaching level 80 might only be halfway to level 100 in terms of XP needed. Though I don't have the exact numbers on hand, you can find detailed figures on the wiki. The grind, however, tends to feel less intense as you climb higher levels thanks to the XP bonuses you receive through the infamy system. Essentially, more loot translates to more XP, although there are exceptions like the normal bank heist where this doesn't apply. Payday 2 also features an interesting system that adjusts the amount of XP you earn based on various factors. You get the full XP for certain missions only if you're at a specific level, and some missions offer bonuses if you haven't played them in a while. Additionally, the difficulty level significantly affects the XP you earn. For instance, a mission on Overkill difficulty can provide around 10 times the XP you'd get on normal difficulty, making it essential to tackle tougher missions as you reach higher reputations to keep your leveling pace quick. One of the best ways to rapidly gain XP is by joining high-level crime sprees. These can catapult your XP earnings, making the grind a bit more bearable and even exciting. As you progress, the game's mechanics, including heist planning, execution, and teamwork, keep you engaged so the grind doesn't feel monotonous. The thrill of pulling off a perfect heist with your team and the rush of securing loot while evading law enforcement creates an addictive loop that will keep you coming back for more. Payday 2 offers a rewarding experience with its robust progression system. Each level up feels like an achievement, unlocking new skills, weapons, and customization options that enhance your gameplay. The community and cooperative aspect of the game also add to its charm, as working with friends or joining random players for high-stakes heists can lead to memorable gaming moments. Up next, we have Nioh 2. Nioh 2 isn't like Dark Souls 3, where you can dump points into your main stat and breeze through half the game. Here, you need to groom your character and learn the intricate combat mechanics to avoid constant struggle. While not overly complicated, the game does require you to invest time in farming the underworld for hours to create the perfect build. The game focuses heavily on build making, and your first playthrough serves as a gradual introduction to these mechanics. The full experience, however, is unlocked once you reach NG Plus and purchase all the DLCs or the Season Pass, which are necessary for the underworld. Each NG Plus stage has been the focus of intense endgame gear grinding, with players fine-tuning their builds to meet high standards. As you progress, you'll find yourself farming for a variety of items like gear with specific attributes, gear with inheritables, scroll missions, and cores with the right type and rarity, and combat arts. The sheer depth of farming options keeps the grind engaging and rewarding. The combat in Nioh 2 is truly exhilarating. The enemies are powerful and tough, making every encounter a test of your skills and preparation. The game's emphasis on mastering technical combat and optimizing your build ensures that you remain constantly engaged. Whether you're farming for the perfect gear or refining your combat strategies, Nioh 2 offers a deeply satisfying grind. Last but surely not the least, we have Hitman World of Assassination. Originally Hitman 3, this rebranded version includes all the levels from Hitman 1, 2, and 3, meaning you get a comprehensive experience without needing additional purchases if you already own Hitman 3. Only the DLC content, including 2 levels from Hitman 2 and a few side campaigns, might be missing. This game nails the grind element perfectly, especially through its intricate level design. Unlike typical games where you just move from point A to B, Hitman's levels are like detailed mazes. Finding shortcuts often requires specific disguises, tools, or good map knowledge makes every movement purposeful and engaging. The charm of the game also lies in constructing optimal pathways using available tools. In-game challenges add another layer of depth. Like, for example, after your first mission completion, the challenge screen shows every possible approach within the level. Challenges range from simple, like finding a spot for a headshot, to complex ones, such as poisoning a target's food undetected. Top-tier challenges like Suit-Only Silent Assassin test your mastery of the game's systems. This dynamic nature ensures that levels remain engaging even after multiple playthroughs. Mastering each level, learning its intricacies, and perfecting strategies make Hitman World of Assassination a standout, grindy game.
Understood.
Okay, so this marks the conclusion of my list of grindy games that I recommend. Which of these games have you already played or are currently playing? If you have any grindy game suggestions, please let us know in the comments. And if you found this video valuable, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.